Hello, everyone. I am Aysha Khan. I'm the CIO and CISO here at Treasure Data. And I'm so excited to be here with all of you today to talk about this very pressing topic, how to future-proof with AI. The world is shifting faster than ever with AI at the heart of this change. And let me tell you this, leaders are getting aligned that AI is critical for business success. The problem is many of us are still struggling how to get on this journey. Let me tell you a story, sort of a sentiment, I guess. So in my circle of influence, in the last 2 years, what I've noticed when we were talking about AI, the sentiment was, yes, it's coming. Yes, we need to get ready for it. We have some time. Starting this year, all of a sudden, the sentiment is, it's here. We are panicking, and we need to get on it. And if we are not getting on it, we are going to be left out. So where's this sense of urgency coming from? I'll talk about that as well. But successful adoption isn't just about technology. It is about transformation in processes, people, and mindset. So I'm going to make a statement for all of you guys. I hear a lot about, hey, how do we get on this AI journey? Do we even need to get on AI journey? As I said, that sentiment is gone. What I am not noticing now, and here's my statement, the real question is not whether businesses can afford to invest in AI, but whether they can afford not to, especially when their future of their competitiveness depends on it. And to back up my statement, here's some data. Evanta, a Gartner company, recently did a survey, and they looked at many organizations to see where is the progress on AI. And what they noticed, about 14% of the organizations have already achieved some measurable results from AI implementation. 15% have completed some pilot projects. About 45% have developed some use cases, and 26% are still figuring out how to get on it. Let me show you another data point. By 2025, Gartner is predicting Gen AI will be a workforce partner for 90% of companies globally. Who is here want to be the remaining 10%? Because if you are going to be part of that remaining 10%, most likely your company will not survive. So right now I talked about there is a sense of urgency. Yes, it is real. Yes, it is happening. And we all are talking about how to get on it. But I want to show you guys some data where this sense of urgency is coming from. And I don't want to talk about here only one segment, one industry, one market, CMO perspective, CIO perspective. Across the industry horizontally, all the leaders are getting aligned and saying, yes, it's a priority, horizontally and vertically. Let's figure out how do we optimize the most out of it. So the first data point, Gartner did a recent survey. Again, they talked to CEOs and senior business executives. And the first question they asked was, what are the top strategic priorities for your organizations for the last 2 years? And the 2 years were 2023 and 2024. And if you notice, just this margin here. First of all, AI is on top of the list. In 2023, it was only 4%. In 2024, 24%. So the key takeaway here is AI has gained momentum over all other technology, all other technology trends. And I'm not surprised. And I can tell you from a CIO perspective as well, every day there is like, hey, can you help customer support organization? Can you help the marketing organization? Can you help the professional services organization? All the other trends are out of the window now. So the second data point was, describe in 1 to 5 words the business value of the AI transformation. So how do leaders see AI transformation? And different people pick different things. But if you see, the themes are efficiency, cost, productivity, customer service, business survival, technology platform, positive generalization, and competitive differentiator. So no surprise here as well. Third data point. The next question was, what new technology will most significantly impact our industry over the next 3 years? AI is the winner again. Almost 60% are saying, forget about all the other things. Let's focus on AI. Last data point on the CXO priorities. So if they all are aligned that this is happening and we need to get on it, who is going to drive this within the organization? By far, CIOs, CTOs, CEOs, CDOs are taking the lead. But I can give you this data point here. CIOs are mostly engaged on the corporate side of things. Vertically or horizontally, they are making sure that corporate infrastructure is in place. And CTOs are taking the lead on the product side. They are making sure consumers are getting what consumers are asking for. So here is the summary slide. And what I want to draw your attention to, AI, first of all, is transforming industries and helping us with productivity, gaining efficiency, driving innovation, reducing cost, becoming competitive in the market. But what it comes down to, we are in a time where we are asked to do more. Every organization, every department is asked to do more with less. And that is it. This is what's driving it. Just look at the macro environment and the macro and micro environment, and what you will realize is every single department is asked to do more, less with hiring, more with innovation, find use cases where you can become more efficient. So this is what's driving it. Now, if we all have to do more with less, and we have to get on this journey, then let's be more thoughtful about it and figure out how do we comprehensively think about our AI strategy. Okay. Up until this point, we talked about AI is happening, it is real, we need to get on it, we can't avoid it. Then we looked at the data and we saw where the priorities are coming from. Here is a question I have for you, and please be very honest. How many of you here have a separate line item in your budget for AI investments, or you have a blanket check available? You do? Consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky. In my circle of influence, and the honest answer is, there is no AI budget. Everyone wants to get on this bandwagon, but there is no AI budget. So today's presentation was with the intention that, okay, it's happening, there is no budget, where are we going to find money? And this is what I've been doing for Treasure Data and talking to all the other friends in the circle. Hey, how are we going to get on it? And the answer is we have to do tech consolidation. We have to find money somewhere and shift that toward our AI investments. And I'll tell you, it is not only about consolidation. It is about understanding our current ROI with our tech stack. And I'm so excited about this project. People often think, oh, am I going crazy? Why am I so excited about this AI project where we don't have money, but we have to do the right thing? And here's why. Tech debt. I'm saying everything is interconnected. We have our tech stack, and that tech stack has so many issues already. So this is an opportunity for me to do a deep dive, see the ROI of every single thing that is working, not working, what is a necessity, what is good to have. And then from there, get rid of things that I don't need and use that money toward AI investment. The second point, I'm a CISO as well, and I'm a big fan of simplicity. I cannot secure things if they are not simple. So tech stack consolidation is an opportunity for me to see what matters, where they are in our ecosystem, do they meet our security posture, and then from there find money for new things. Okay, so now we're going to talk about how do we start this AI journey. So here is a framework that I created, and I'm using it. It's working. Please feel free to use it. If you have any questions, come talk to me. Ryan is sitting here. He's from my team. You can also find him. So I'm going to divide this framework into 3 phases. The first is the assessment phase. Second is the pilot. Third is the scale. What you are noticing is in the assessment phase are the 3 sub-phases: AI ambition, feasibility analysis, right size tag. In the pilot phase, think about your use cases, integrate them into your business horizontally and vertically, then create a culture of innovation so that you are not thinking about AI then as an afterthought. Every process that you're creating, think about how can I automate this? How can I apply AI on top? Shift left. We talk about shift left in security. Think about shift left in AI now as well. And then monitor, scale, and iterate. So let's start with AI ambition. I love this diagram. Gartner came up with it. And the first time I saw it, there were so many different frameworks that I looked at, but this made the most sense to me. So let me break it down for you. When people often ask me, how do I start my journey? My first question to them is, what are you trying to do? Let me explain this. Let me explain this. If you are going to be a company that is more focused on productivity pursuers, think of this quadrant as front office, product and services, back office, core capabilities. But if you are only thinking about gaining productivity, you're mostly going to optimize things on the front, back, and core capability side. If you are going to be the organization which is not in front of customer, you're mainly focused on back office, on core capabilities. But if you are somewhere where you want front, back, core capabilities, product side, you want to be AI first, AI everywhere. And this is where treasure data is. So from that point of view, if you have met my peer, Carl, who is our CPO slash CPO? He's our CPO. And he's taking the responsibility on this side, which is the product and core capabilities, making sure treasure data product is coming up with all the latest and greatest AI innovation that you have heard in our main center as well. And I am responsible for making sure the corporate side, which is everyday AI, is getting attention. The other thing that I would like to highlight is this. This is called game-changing AI because it is enabling your consumer. This side of the task that you are going to optimize, this is everyday AI. So this is for efficiencies and productivity gains. And this is where you are going to gain competitive advantage. Now that you understand where you want to fit, the next thing is feasibility analysis. How do I even think about the next step? And feasibility analysis, what I have to say is ambition is great. Everyone can think big. It's the execution that matters. So what you have to think about here is 3 things. When you think about feasibility, it's a combination of technical feasibility, internal readiness, and external readiness. Within technical feasibility, think about your teams. Do they have to upscale for AI, specific features, infrastructure? Tech stack. As I talked about tech stack, I will spend a little bit more time later. But look at your tech stack and see how much you are spending. So when I was given this task, lead it for the whole organization, the first thing I did, looked at where is our AI ambition? Where am I in my feasibility analysis? What is my tech stack? And my first question to my team was, where is the benchmark? I need to know for the industry of our size, for our segment, for our revenue, what is a healthy number? Look at your own industry, look at your own tech stack, and figure out the money that you're spending is the right amount that you should be spending. So once you have a benchmark, then you can figure out, okay, what is the realistic number? Imagine me going to my CMO and telling him, hey, I need $2 million in your budget. And he'll be like, well, it's not realistic. But if I have data in front of me and I tell him, look, here is in our industry, this is the benchmark, this is where we need to be, and collectively, the marketing department is only spending this much money, and we are here, you need to help me balance this, because we need to shift this money toward AI now. Then the conversation is going to go somewhere. Internal readiness, data quality, garbage in, garbage out. You cannot get on your AI journey if your data is not clean. So think about what is your data teams are doing and how are you going to structure this data for your AI machine to work on top. Think about use cases. So then I formed a council within our organization. And what I've done is I've brought in people from all the different departments, and everyone comes up with their own use cases. Marketing department, sales department, R&D is ahead of us. So they come and they talk about what use cases they are developing and deploying in their segment. So we learn, and then we apply those use cases on the corporate side, and then we have our own use cases that we want to solve for. Next important thing, security, governance, and privacy. What are we bringing in our ecosystem? Well, how are we building our own LLM? How are we going to structure the whole AI layer on top, the framework that you looked at earlier? How are we building that AI framework for our consumers? External readiness. If your AI ambition is to be AI first, AI everywhere, and you're building for your consumers, one of the questions you have to ask is your customer ready for accepting AI? Are they worried about security? Are they worried about legalities? And on top of it, are they ready to pay you for what you are building? So, tech rationalization, I thought about how I'm going to do justice to this topic because it can get into weeds. So I wanted to stay 10,000 feet high, and I came up with a simple framework. Here, think of it this way, cost versus time analysis. If you are starting your tech rationalization with what you have and you add new projects, good luck. You're adding more to your existing problems. What you have to look at, what do you have right now, cost of existing portfolio. If you do this right, you're decreasing in operational complexities. And when you add new projects, think about how you can bring in more innovation here. And then on top, you think about cost of rationalization, and you now find new savings, dedicate this to what your AI initiatives. And here is a framework for the tech rationalization in detail. So think of 3 layers. The first one is the discovery phase. When you are thinking about your tech rationalization, think about what is your current inventory. What is the business value of every single thing that you have in your portfolio? What is a necessity versus good to have? From there, where do you have to discover shadow IT? Which applications you have redundancy for? And identify lifecycle stages. I can give you one example here. When I was doing this project for treasure data, I found redundancy at least in 2 main areas. First was project management. We had in our company of 500 people, had almost 3 different types of project management tools. Here we are talking about alignment. Alignment is an issue, communication is an issue. Why do we have 3 different project management tools? Second was the authentication. We had 3 different ways of authenticating to our tools. So I got rid of 2 of the project management, obviously a lot of influence, collaboration, making sure one department doesn't feel left out when we are taking out the product that they love. So consolidation, think about what is your company priorities, what is the business goal, and my pitch used to be, we are talking about alignment, we are talking about collaboration throughout the company, and if we are using the same tools, there is going to be more of that. The other example that I'm going to give you here is the CDP. When I was thinking about which tools to get rid of, what I was looking at, is there a tool that is giving me 5 different features, and I have 5 different features in 5 different tools. So how about if I get rid of these 5 different tools, and this one product is giving me all the things that I need? And what I've noticed is CDP in some segments helps you with that as well. Now you have seen we are doing marketing, the email campaign, the content creation. If you have multiple features, tools to do all those things, CDP can help you with that as well. So think about that when you're doing consolidation. Now let's look at the second layer. So when you're improving, think about how are you going to reduce cost, how are you going to get rid of redundancy there, complexity, how are you managing risk. So think about all those things. And that's where the third layer comes in play, transform. You think about innovation in business processes, you modernize your products, you apply AI on top, you're cleaning up your data. Use this framework to get to a point where you can say that, you know what, now my data is structured, my tech stack is rationalized, I understand what I have, why do I have, my benchmarking is making sense, and from there I want to start on my AI journey. And here I just wanted to share some use cases, applications, and the ROI. I'm not going to go into detail with every single line, but what I wanted to show you is in different departments, we have identified different use cases and what could be some of the outcomes. So here you're seeing the very first slide for customer support, some of the use cases, and what we are trying to drive in terms of outcomes. The next one is for legal and compliance. What are some of the use cases we are trying to help them build, and what are the outcomes they are going to drive? The third one is the marketing one. What are some of the campaigns they are driving for, and what outcomes they are looking for? What I showed up until this point is vertical campaigns within each department. Now I wanted to show you the value of AI when you use it horizontally as well. So let's take an example of this one. AI for cross-departmental predictive analytics, IT, finance, and operations. Soon we are going to start our budgeting cycle. How do we enable the 3 departments to do predictive analysis for resource allocation and budgeting? And what are we trying to drive from this analysis? 25% improvement in in-core efficiencies, aligning IT and financial planning with operational demands. The second use case between IT, HR, and finance, robotics, process automation for repetitive tasks. So there are horizontal tasks that we can improve, vertical tasks that we can improve, and then interconnections between departments, we can improve processes as well. And some metrics. What should you measure? Again, I'm not going to go into every single line item, but here are some of the use cases that some of the metrics that I will be using on top of my use case in seeing why am I going for these use cases, what are the outcomes that I'm driving. This is one of my favorite slides. Maybe it doesn't fit here, but this is intentional, and I'll tell you why. So many times people reach out and say, you know what, how do I gain momentum in implementing CDP? Or how do I understand what my CISO is thinking or what my CIO is thinking? I want to show you an example, a real world example, how 3 of us are interconnected. In many cases, if CMO is a buyer, what CMO cares about? Focused on leveraging customer insights to drive revenue growth and enhance brand visibility. What CFO is concerned about? Focused on maximizing ROI and driving revenue growth. What CIOs and CISOs are focused on? Prioritizing innovation, efficiency, and trust while optimizing costs to boost revenue. What is the common word here that you see? Revenue, revenue, revenue. If you align 3 of us and you understand what we 3 care about, here is your case. So when you are selling to a CMO, and CMO often comes and say, oh, we have the money, but then CIO is not helping us implementing. Well, maybe CIOs and CISOs have different priorities, but those priorities are still tying to business revenue. If you can understand CISO and CIO's challenges and speak their language, you will have more success in implementing your CDP or any solution that you want to build within your organization. So the reason I have this slide here, whether it's tech rationalization, is getting on your AI journey, or building a CDP in your organization, try to understand their motives and speak the language they care about. You will have more success. And last slide, AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and you do not want to be left out of that slide that I showed you. 90% of the companies are going to be using AI by 2025, and 10% will be remaining. We don't want to be that 10%. So start your AI journey intentionally and unleash your organization's full potential. That's it.